latest tool, which is Skywalker,
24 quotes found.
and this is actually a really powerful application. I'll kind of show you how it works. It's built in basically the backend is Java, and it's fully integrated with TD Ameritrade. It's also integrated with TWS, which is API, which is basically from Interactive Brokers. And then it's got an API that I wrote that pretty much does everything. So this portion is this is the OAuth to um, piece that's required to actually go in and make connections out to um, pretty much make connections out to TD Ameritrade. I threw this together. This just basically gets me my token and the things that I need. And then I manage it through a refresh interval. It's actually shared through the application. It's just to facilitate what it is that I'm doing with this application. TWS API, that's pretty much it. That's the actual API that they give you to interface with their platform. And then Vicentex is the actual application that I've built. And this has pretty much everything. Controllers in here to do everything from account management, strategy management. It's just a ton of stuff that's in here. But that's proprietary, so we'll leave that alone. Now, basically what happens with this is there's two pieces. There's a Skywalker, which is running, and then there's this OAuth piece that basically does like I said, the TD Ameritrade, and I'll show you how that works. So I'll kill this, um, and what happens is I'll just go in with this, and I'll launch both of these, and you'll notice that you sort of can't use one. You can't use it before it authenticates. So now when I launch this application from the client side, which is written in Angular, I'll go ahead and run this. What's actually going to happen? These two should already be running. Is as soon as this thing boots up, as soon as Electron fires and everything launches, it's actually gonna go automatically out and do the off initiation and everything. And I'll show you that in just a second. This will take a while. Give it a second, and we will see. Yeah, this usually takes a while to build, but it should be done here in a second, and it'll fire up, and you'll kind of get a chance to see how some of this stuff works. All right, so now you can see it's firing up. It's sort of slow, but it is what it is. And you'll see immediately what it does is it goes out and it literally launches the TD Ameritrade deal. So you can see right here. Now, once I do that, it's telling me the application right there, the TD Ameritrade application. And now we're all good. If you go on this side, go back on the Java side, you'll see that there's a token that was issued, right? And it's telling you that that whole initialization piece has been completed. So now these two are sharing a token to where they can talk and do whatever it is that they need to do. Now, the second step of this is obviously you need to connect into um, what the account, uh, these test accounts to make sure that you can actually do what you need to do. So these are test accounts. They actually have real-time data enabled in them, and it allows me to test and do what I need to do. So what you're going to see automatically when I actually log into this, because they're integrated, is this is going to talk through Java, and automatically what you're going to see is
Initiating strategy services.
yeah, and I kind of put the voice in there. I don't like that voice. I'm going to change it, but you can see the available funds in the account, everything. It reads it all down into this. Now, what you have is what this application allows me to do is a bunch of different things, right? I can see trade halts. I can actually get news. I can search on different types of news. I can literally click buy or sell or whatever it is on any one of these things that I get, and it will literally go in and initiate the transaction in there. And that's something I can easily show. If I go to, like, if I hit buy,
Order
um,
partially filled.
you'll hear it auto partially filled, and you'll see automatically that it's actually going into the account, and you see where it actually put in the order for. Hmm, oh wow, where did it actually put the order
Order
in?
partially filled.
Okay, yeah. So should have put the order in here. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, put order in IBM. So you can see it added 22 shares of IBM for $3,200, or however many shares it actually bought. Actually, no, it tried to buy
Order partially filled.
a bunch of shares. So to try to buy like 10,000 shares of IBM. But yeah, that's fine. But it just kind of goes to show you that you can do it from the application. It's fully integrated. In any case, um, if I now go over to market movers, I can see these are like
Order
pre
filled.
market movers. Like if I want to see what's happening pre market or post market, I can see these with market movers and losers, right? And if I go over here to percent gainers, I can click on this and I can see, everything that's gained, percentage points during this trading session currently right now, right? You see there's something called Kelly Services that's up 162.93%. I can actually click into this, and what it'll do is it'll actually show me a graph of everything that they have with news and all that. And if there's information that I can get on earnings and everything, it'll show up here. In that particular case, it didn't have any. Let me see if I can find one that actually has some. Yeah, so you can see here, you can see some of these have earnings charts. You can see some of this stuff. So it's got a lot in here. Um, and if I want to, I can actually, modify some of these things and make a change. I don't have to look at it at this interval. I can look at it at different intervals. I can look at it at a 1 year interval, whatever it is. And if I want to look, there's actually another charting piece in here where I can actually go and I can look at it from a charting perspective. So I can go in here and I can look at these, more advanced charts that have a lot of other stuff in there, and I can do that too. So I built all this out from scratch, do all the stuff I need to do. But the key thing here is what this really allows me to do is you see here where it says search phrases, where I have these specific like merger, FDA approval, phase 3, Corona. If I click on apply phrase filters and I click on healthcare, and I hit search, it immediately goes in and it will actually do a search and try to find everything, all pieces of news that have some match criteria to what it is that I've set up. So instead of me just blindly trying to read through news to figure out what's there, I can now see everything that pertains to what it is that I want. So here you see coronavirus vaccine, you see corona, right? You see that launches phase 3. So everything here that is FDA approval, Gilead CSC right there, you can see that's found in that. So it allows me to do a broad search on basically all news across all stocks instantaneously. And this is key because this is actually baked into the trading algorithm portion called TradeSaver. So now when I go to TradeSaver, right, I can actually click in here and I can literally do the same exact thing, except I can schedule this to run on a minute interval. I can go short, long, and I have it set up to daily. I can do weekly and monthly too if I want to. Funding strategy, you can split by how many prospects you have, by how many, I can say a maximum amount of shares, and then it looks at this amount over here. Max dollars, same deal. And I can say use all my funds. Just go all in with whatever it is that I have to buy as many shares as possible. I set a trade start time. I can tell hold overnight. I can tell close on finish, and I can pick the specific sectors that I want to. If I don't pick any sectors, then it uses everything, right? Quote filter, same thing. Volume, gap, percent gain. I can filter on news, or I can actually add criteria. So, like for instance, if I click edit here, I can look at uh, uh, one of the algorithms. You can see I'm looking for FDA approval, top line results, mergers, target raise, outperform, keywords that are usually associated with stocks that would move. Chart patterns. There's a bunch of different chart patterns that I could use. All kinds of stuff. Indicators, RSI, shares outstanding, dollar volume. There's some other hidden tabs here that you can't see. Like for instance, things that have to do with the PE ratio, book value, stuff like that that are more fundamental. But I mean, that's literally what you use instead of writing code for algorithms. You're basically just picking and checking the boxes, and then you can come back here in your portfolio, and then once that's created, you can pick any one of these. Now, so to give you an idea of how this actually works, I can select any one of these algorithms that I've already pre-configured, and I can execute. As soon as I hit execute, the algorithm's going to start running. And when it starts running, you can see
23 quotes found.
immediately it scans to look at specific quotes and things based on the criteria that's there. And it's telling me that it found 23 specific quotes, but then there's other further filtration that it needs to pass through in order for I needed an order to be placed. Like for instance, it can't be too big a percentage gain. You don't want to go in when relative trend index is above like 90 or something ridiculous when the price is about to turn. I mean, there's all sorts of things that you look for as a trader that you want your software to look at too. So all this stuff is actually calculated in this, and it knows what to do based on successful algorithms that I've built before. Now, when we actually take a look at this, you can see the IBM is in there. And I can actually go in, I can tell I want to close that position.
Order partially
And
filled.
it'll actually go and say submitted and close that position. So this is fully integrated
21 quotes found.
with the actual backend,
Order partially filled.
right? So it's closing everything out. Now, obviously, it's going to lose money because we just
Order
defended
partially
something
filled.
randomly, and it is what it is. Um, but that's pretty much the gist of how this works, and it's gonna run this
Order
big
partially
deal.
filled.
Now, if I go ahead and I go to toggle developer tools, you'll see here um, that over on this side here that it's actually doing all this stuff behind the
Order
scenes.
filled.
So every minute, this is going to kick off and it's going to run another sequence to actually go through the whole filtration process to tell me what's there, what's available. And when it finds something, it's going to actually pop into a list where it says prospects. And it'll further filter it down and see whether or not it fits the criteria to the T. And then if it does, then it will actually place the order. Not only will it place the order, it will actually put a stop in, a trailing stop.
23 quotes found.
Yeah, I believe this one is configured for 10%. So we'll put a trailing stop for say like 10%, and that will follow the price. You know what I'm saying? And or it'll stop out at 10% max loss, or it'll actually continue to trail as the price goes up or whatever it is. And obviously you can change that, right? It's all configuration and there's different types. You can do a hard stop. You can do a bracket order where you say, this is where I stop and this is where my max gain is. There's all these configuration options in the code, and I can show you where that is in the code. If I go into the Centex uh, Skywalker API, you can see that there's all these different controllers, and there's a transaction controller, and in this transaction controller, you have all these different calls that you can make. So I have create market stop.
25 quotes found.
Here I have a trailing percent, trailing amount, hard percentage, all these different things. I check to see whether or not the order has already been placed. All there's a ton of code in here that interfaces with that whole backend, and that's called in the Spring Boot accent piece. So this piece of software allows me to automate all my trading to where I can have it trade for me as opposed to me doing the trading. Because when you're doing the trading, um, you get all in your feelings and oh, it should be this way, it should be that way, so on and so forth, and oh, it's gonna turn, it's not gonna turn. When the computer's doing it, the computer doesn't make those types of mistakes, right? The computer will literally get out when it's supposed to get out. It'll get in when it's supposed to get in. It's gonna do the same thing every single time, and that's what you want as a trader. Trading is about discipline, and it's about making smart trades. And if you can give the computer the same information that you
25 quotes found.
have and teach you to trade like a trader, then you don't have to trade. You can have the computer trade for you. And that's exactly what this does. Still tweaking some of this stuff. I'm going to probably modify the interface and clean it up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it does what I want it to do. It consistently makes profits on a daily basis. Um, man, it's an awesome tool. And once I get this done, I don't even know how much it's going to be worth, but I can tell you that I can just use it to do whatever it is that I need to do on my own end. Um, that's pretty much it. If you like, let me know. If you don't like, that's fine. Um, but yeah, it doesn't matter.